Straw Hut Media.
Hey you! Welcome to another episode of Release Date Rewind. It's a pretty bleak world out there, so come closer, because this episode is full of magic, mystery, and menace. I'm your host, Mark J. Parker, a movie lover and movie maker, and thanks so much for checking out my show, which celebrates milestone anniversaries in film. All kinds of film. The award winners, the blockbusters, and the cult classics. This is an AI-free podcast brought to you by the Straw Hut Media Network and is part of the You Run Podcast Network and is also watchable on YouTube. Hello! 40 years ago, a weird little movie creeped into theaters and became a genre classic that we still remember today. Oh, it's a memorable one, folks. We are talking about Troll from early 1986, featuring the Harry Potter family years before we got that Harry Potter. So grab your friends, wear the most random 80s outfit you can find, and if you'd like to watch or rewatch Troll before continuing, it's currently streaming in the US for free with ads on YouTube and Tubi. Alright, witches, wizards, and, well, trolls. There's an apartment available in San Francisco, so it's time to rewind. I know we don't know each other well, but I love my guest today. I love following her. She's so cool. She's so knowledgeable about this wild world of horror. Please, everybody, welcome Kelly Kapow to Release Date Rewind. Hi, Kelly.
Hi.
You look great. She's got her cat ears on.
Thank
Still have
you.
Halloween decorations. Now, are those decorations behind you there year-round?
Oh, baby, it's Halloween every day in this house, okay? My house
Love it.
is nothing but Halloween and trolls. So this
Oh,
is good that we're
this is
doing
perfect,
troll
then.
today.
And I'm so glad you're here because, like I said, I follow you. It's trivia time, bitch. That is
Yeah.
Kelly's monthly trivia, right?
That's right. Yep.
In Salem, in Beverly, in the Salem area, up in Mass. And so Kelly, we were just saying offline, I and my friend Dan, hi Dan,
Hi, Dan.
hi Dan, we went to a place in Beverly to take Kelly's 90s teen horror, I believe was the theme. It wasn't just slashers because there was Idle Hands, there was,
Yep.
The Faculty, there was my second language is
The
90s
cream
horror.
of the crop, baby.
The cream of the crop. Now, I have to ask you, Kelly, out of all the horror that you love and know so well, what decade is your favorite decade? Is there a certain subgenre that you love most? Can you pick?
It's really hard for me because I grew up watching a lot of like 80s slashers and just like 80s Nightmare on Elm Street, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like as a teenager, 90s teen slashers, all of those kind of things, like any 90s teen movies, Idle Hands, Faculty, like you just said, that is my wheelhouse just because of me being a product from my time.
Yep.
But then I feel like once I hit my 30s is when I really started to get interested in other types of horror, like giallos and more 70s kind of films. But
Yep.
The rewatchability on 90s teen stuff is just...
It's like a
It's
nice warm
high.
blanket, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
puts a smile on my face. Really, any 90s horror, not even the slashers. I mean, even Leprechaun. I've talked about Leprechaun on this show, all of it. And I think you're right. I think it has to do with maybe the time that we were kind of coming of age,
Right.
because I wasn't alive. I was born in 87, so I wasn't yet
too.
alive when Troll came out. Were you 87 too?
Yeah, 87.
When's your birthday?
July 8th.
Nice. I'm a couple months older than you. April 9th. I'm your elder. That's so fun. So exactly. Yeah. As we were turning 13 around 2000, right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
We were really discovering that stuff. So that was so cool. But I love that you went back. I need to do more giallo. I know obviously some of the big ones, but there's still pockets of horror that I'm still and much like your next theme of trivia with Troll and Troll 2. Oh my God. I need to venture into some of that, gross horror comedy of the 80s a little more,
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I've only scratched the surface,
I find myself kind of beholden to the things that I, watched so much as a kid. So because I was on another horror podcast for a few years,
Oh,
and
okay.
I was on Heavy Leather Horror with Ken and a few of my other friends, and it was great because some of my older friends had introduced me to a lot of stuff that I didn't grow up watching, like giallos and older, even stuff from like the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
But I'm still constantly finding movies that I had never even heard of from
Yeah.
even the 80s and early 90s.
Yeah, absolutely. Right there. I feel like you can be an expert, but still, you don't know everything. I just saw a video a friend posted today of something crazy from the 80s. And I was like, okay, I got to add
What
this
the
to my
hell
long
is this?
list. I mean,
Yeah.
right? Like, really, movies just in general, right? And all entertainment, but horror, especially. Whoa, the rabbit holes we can go on. I've been craving a rewatch of Phenomena slash Creepers,
Ooh, ooh, good.
Argento,
Jennifer
right?
Connelly,
Yes,
yeah.
it's been so long, and I know that just turned 40 last year, so that's still on my list. Like my list is just so long, just of like just stuff you want to sit and cozy up with.
Totally, totally. Because there's so many different types of horror for different types of moods that you're in, right? You have like your comfort watches, the cozy ones, like you said. I
Yeah.
know you did last summer, Scream, that kind of stuff, right?
Yes.
Disturbing behavior, that's a big one for me.
Yes.
But then, depending on how fucked up you're feeling or fucked up you want to feel, then you have like your psychological horrors. And like for
Oh.
me, I like a lot of like French extremity horror. So
Oh, girl.
Martyrs,
Oh,
Frontiers, like High Tension.
high tension. I talked about that on a friend's podcast last summer for its 20th already. Oh, I remember seeing that in the theater and being like, I don't know if I'm gonna sit through this. I might have to
Yeah.
go, right? Ooh,
Yeah.
nothing
I
crazier than those French horror movies. I still need to see the Christmas one. I want to see it every Christmas and I never get
Inside.
to it. Yes, I haven't seen that. I hear it's
That's one of my favorites.
okay.
That movie is
I'm scared.
so good. It's fucking terrifying.
Ooh,
And it makes you feel pretty bad.
yeah.
But sometimes like I don't know how to describe this, but like the feeling, I tell people all the time, like I like a movie that makes you feel like a real piece of shit after you watch it, because it's like this isn't real, this isn't, you know what I mean? Like I'm
Yeah.
feeling like absolute shit from something that has nothing to do with me. And
Yeah. Oh,
sometimes
yeah.
there's a little bit of like relief in that,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, sometimes that's just the power of good entertainment is now like
Yeah.
even if it's not a great feeling, it's like, whoa, I felt for those characters. I
Yep.
felt for that situation. Holy shit, now I'm down in the dumps. But there's something cool about that. Like it feels earned. Like, wow,
Yeah.
and hopefully then you just have, I don't know, Golden Girls or something to watch
Buffy
after
the
too.
Vampire Slayer.
But of course, to cleanse the palate. Wow. Okay, yeah. So I gotta check that out. I have so much more to see. But when did you
We all do.
first? Because I love that you are a horror expert, and I didn't. It's funny.
I wouldn't
feel
say
like,
expert. I wouldn't
well,
say
I
expert. I
would.
know a few things, but
Mm,
honestly, sometimes because I've been doing trivia now for over 4 years or almost
yeah,
4
a long
years,
time. Yeah.
and sometimes I'll watch these things, I'll take all these notes, I'll write all these
Mm.
questions, and then it feels like someone just like severed me, like it's just wiped, completely
Oh,
gone,
I
you
hear
know?
you. I know. Yeah, because you're just like you went down that rabbit hole. You feel prepared, and then you're like, oh, actually, I only know a little bit. Like I know,
Yeah,
right? And there's always someone that knows more, and you're just like,
totally.
okay, nerd, like chill, go outside, right? As they say, touch grass. I hate that
Yeah.
thing. I'm like, no, I haven't left my apartment today, and you know what? It feels great. Um, but when did you, Kelly, since you love horror so much, like I do, but when do you feel like you really started watching horror? Were you young? Were you a kid?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was super duper young.
What do you think it was? What was your gateway?
I think my gateway was Pumpkinhead. I
Oh,
remember seeing that at a very young age. I remember my mom's boyfriend telling me that Pumpkinhead lived in the basement.
oh,
Um, s- yeah, so I was really, and my mom was always super into spooky stuff and Halloween, and
yeah.
just as I said before on another podcast that I did with LJ,
Mm,
I grew up like pretty without a lot of money. And
mhm,
one of the big things that we did together as a family was we went to the video store and we rented horror movies and we
mhm,
watched them. So like
mhm.
I was watching a lot of like 80s kind of horror movies. Troll was a huge one of them, like 1986 Troll. I remember getting that, wanting to get that movie all the time from the video store just because of the cover alone, you
Oh, I
know?
know. Yes, exactly. I know. Isn't it funny? There were just some of these because Troll is still, I don't want to say a lesser known, but like most like kind of mainstream horror fans are still like Troll, what? But feel like it's a little bit of a deeper cut, even though it's
A
such
little bit.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like those who know, but there are still many people that might be like, I love The Conjuring. And it's like, well, have you seen Troll? And they're like, what? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you got to be more of a scholar to like,
For sure.
but I love that. Yeah. I know I've said before on this show, I know, speaking of Nightmare on Elm Street, like my dad showed me that at a very young age. I was a little kid and I loved it, but oh God, I mean, yeah. So I love when parents are cool and they just let kids watch horror and it's just a movie. You know what I mean? We're normal.
It's really funny because when my mom would have me watch these movies, we were watching a lot of full moon production movies too, like Subspecies, Puppet Masters, which is in the realm of Troll. And my mom did not care about the gore, right? So she was never like, oh, you can't watch that because it's too gory. If we were sitting there and we watched a lot of 80s B horror, so you can imagine the amount of tits on the screen, right?
Yeah, what did she think about that?
She would cover my eyes. And I always say now that is my queer root.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
I love that. Yeah, she's like, okay, you can see the trolls ripping people apart, but you cannot see, right?
Breasts.
Well, you know what's funny though about that, real quick, about like especially the 80s and even early 90s, because tits were just everywhere, right? But like it's because they were, even though they were beautiful, they're gorgeous, but it's just like why? Like the trolls killing people makes sense. This girl just, it's like, so she's probably like closing your eyes to be like, this doesn't make any sense. You don't even need to look at it. Like, you know what I mean? It's just
absolutely
nonsensical. This is, they're exploiting this poor actress, right? It's like girl power to close your eyes, I guess, during it. Do you think your mom still loves horror? Is she?
Oh yeah, she does. She doesn't like a lot of the extreme stuff that I do. Like she calls it torture porn.
Yeah.
She can't handle she's never even heard of most of those French films because she can't even handle things like Hostel or Saw.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny you bring that up because Hostel just turned 20 like a week ago. So what did you think of? I know, isn't that crazy?
Our baby's growing up.
I know, our baby's about to be 21. Birthday party. But like, what did you think? Yeah, were you into Hostel? I saw 1 and 2. I think there was a third one, right?
I think there was a third one. I didn't see that one. I actually liked the first one because it gave this feeling of dread. I mean, it terrorized people and made them afraid to travel.
Yeah.
You made them afraid to travel abroad and go stay at hostels. That's something to be said about a movie that can do that.
Absolutely.
It's like the cover of Ghoulies and how people were afraid to sit on the toilet after that,
You have Jaws, you're afraid to go into the ocean. Psycho, you're afraid of showers. Ghoulies, toilets, hostels, Europe in general, right? Yes. Oh my God. I just remember that was brutal. I remember seeing that movie in a packed theater, opening weekend, of course, maybe with my sister. And I haven't seen it many times, I have to say. Only a few times, but some of those images, they will never leave you,
Oh no. I mean,
at least not me.
There's so much worse out there. That is like the tip of the iceberg for that style of horror.
Right.
But and because of its release and it being in theaters, a lot of people were experiencing that kind of horror for the first time, so they were shocked.
Absolutely, yeah. I would say, and you're so right. I know that was the tip of the iceberg with torture, but I couldn't go much further underwater. I'm trying to think, like, you know what I mean? Like, I guess like high tension's probably worse. Right.
Oh yeah.
So I could handle that just barely. Right. But yeah. And you know what else just turned? I know we're supposed to be talking about Troll, but
we will get there, honey.
All these horror tangents. I also loved. You remember Wolf Creek? That also just turned 20.
Oh,
that was a good one, right?
That one was scary.
That was scary because you know why I like that. We spent a good amount of time. Some people might have found it boring, but I liked how we spent a good amount of time. I remember with our lead characters to the point where when we met the guy, what was his name? Was it Mick?
I don't remember.
I can't remember now, but
I remember his knife.
Meet the killer, that knife, I know, and his smile. Oh my God. I felt like, okay, goodbye, Freddy. Hello. I think his name was Mick. But once we meet him, I remember saying to my friend, I was like, oh, I forgot we're watching a horror movie.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think that's why I liked it.
That buildup is so important because now we're feeling for these characters. We've gotten to know them. We've lived with them for a bit. I love a slow burn that has some development before because When you just there's too many movies that just rush right to it, and I don't give a fuck who lives or dies. I don't know who I'm rooting for.
Right.
I don't know what's going on. Like I want to either have me rooting for the killer or have me rooting for, the victims.
Yeah,
But I need to be on someone's side here.
Right. I gotta identify with someone, right? If
Yeah.
it's like just flat, then okay, what are we doing? Right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We'll be right back. So you live in Salem, right?
I do.
I love Salem. I've loved it since I was a kid. How long have you been there? Did you grow up there?
So I moved to Salem when I was 15. I went to
Okay.
high school in Salem. I
That is
I
so
worked
hocus pocus of you to like
I
move to Salem
I
at
know.
15. Like, okay, yeah.
I know. I started working at Haunts when I turned 16 downtown Salem. That's how I started getting into the horror worlds too. And then I moved around a bit in my 20s. I went to Philly, I went to California for a
Okay.
bit, but
Yeah.
I came back here. I think I moved back to Salem again when I was 26, and I've been here ever since. I'm
Nice.
38 now.
It's so funny because I'm from the Philadelphia area, and I feel like, Kelly, when I met you at trivia, I'm like, do I know Kelly from somewhere? So when were you living in Philly? Do you
How
remember?
funny. I lived in Philly from when I was 21 until I was about 24. I lived in
Okay.
South Philly.
Interesting. All right. Yeah. By then I moved to New York. I was in Philly. I went to Temple University for a year when we were, 18 to 19, my
I
freshman
dated
year.
someone from Temple
Okay. I just
casually.
wonder,
Maybe that's how. It was
right?
a
Because
girl named Tess, maybe?
I don't think I knew a Tess. You don't need
Damn,
too many Tesses anymore,
you don't.
right? But wow. Anyway, that's so cool. So I love it. And you said California too for a bit.
Yeah, just for like a year, a little under a year.
So what do you do besides these amazing trivia nights? Do you work other things?
So I do, yeah. I work at a little shop downtown called Hive and Forge. It's an art collective. My
Cool.
friends own that shop, so it's just an easy peasy fluffer job for me,
Good. Good.
And then I serve at a couple of places. I work at the Ugly Mug on the weekend,
Oh yeah.
serving waffles.
Nice.
And I do a lot of horror stuff. So like I'm a part of something called Salem Scare Society,
Oh yeah.
and we run little events here and there that are horror related. I do the trivia and I do haunt stuff. I like mostly haunt for hire kind of stuff now.
Cool. Yeah. I wanted to talk about your other Instagram page, Miss
Yeah.
Carol, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Do you do a lot of that cool makeup and stuff on by yourself, or do you work with people?
Yeah, I
Wow.
do. So yeah, so I started working in haunts when I was a teenager, and we worked at places like Spooky Worlds and a little bit of Fright Kingdom, places like that. And then as I got older, I started realizing, oh, I can actually make more money.
Yeah.
Just hiring my services out. So like I work at like the night fair when that comes along every October.
Yep.
I do like a couple of markets in Salem where I'll get paid to dress up and just kind of be like a photo op, do a little bit of scares and entertain people.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's so cool, Kelly. Yeah, might as well do it on your own and
Right.
look good and get paid directly, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Wow, that is so cool. Do you love living in Salem? Does it get annoying around Halloween time, or do you just embrace it?
I embrace it. You know why? Because I don't drive and I live right off Salem Commons, and all of my jobs are like a 10-minute walk from my house.
Yeah.
Plus, like, I love it here. Like, I grew like growing up here, and of course now it's so much different than it was back when I was a teenager. It can be a little overwhelming at times
Yeah.
with how many people show up here, but for the most part, I really love it. Like, I love tourism. I love meeting new people. I love, as long as if you come to Salem and you're respectful and you're excited, I love that. I grew up
Yeah.
watching Hocus Pocus. I live right down the street from where it was filmed now, and I think
Yes.
that it hasn't made me jaded,
Good.
because
Yeah.
when I see people come into town and they're excited to talk about horror and they're excited to ask for recommendations, and you see that like just like little sparkle in their eyes, I think it's so precious,
Right. It keeps the whole feeling alive, right? It keeps the energy going, right? You
Yeah.
don't want to like dim that. Yeah.
No.
Oh, I love that. I just finally went to with a friend who loves Salem. She spends so much money every time she comes. It's crazy. It's like that is her big annual vacation. But we just went to Rockefeller's the back room. If you like, there's like a vault
Ooh,
room that's
yes.
apparently haunted. Nothing
Mhm.
happened, but
Everywhere is fucking haunted.
I know,
okay?
right? It's Salem, right? Yeah. You're like, okay, just walk anywhere and you'll feel something, right?
Yes.
That's so funny. Love it, Kelly. Well, and one last question I want to ask. Because you do such amazing, cool scare, makeup, haunted stuff, have you ever worked in horror films? I'm sure you've done some film work or something.
No, I've never done
Wow, I
any
feel like
film
you
work.
should if you want.
You know what it is? Because when I moved out to California, I had this idea of wanting to get involved with like special effects makeup and stuff like that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then I realized I don't like doing that. I
Okay.
hate doing makeup. And the only reason that I've learned to do it on myself, which is still kind of like on the lower end of some people that are really great makeup artists,
Yeah.
I've learned to do it just because I love haunting. I love acting. I like scaring people.
Yeah.
I like turning a look and being like, okay, like I did put this together, but the process is so fucking grueling for me.
Okay.
It's kind of like doing beauty makeup. I like the final look, but god damn it, I forget how to put a wing on every time, you know?
Yeah, all the steps involved. I believe
Yeah.
it. Oh yeah, where it's like finally I got there, yay! But it's like honestly for me, it's I probably sound so basic, but sometimes cooking, even if it's not, I'm
Yes.
just like I just kind of want to eat. Like, do I have to really do all this stuff? You know what I
it's
mean?
a lot.
Even if I have nothing going on, I'm just like, oh god, I have to like cut things and like, ugh. So I hear you totally. That makes sense. I get it. But maybe someday we can somehow join forces because I make
Yeah.
horror films and I feel like I don't know, maybe you would act. Maybe you
Ooh,
could
I'll
like,
be like a slasher in it. The next
Oh.
big slasher.
oh, I love that. We need more slasher women. Right?
Yes.
I feel
Yes.
like every now and then we're on a wave of like some scary women and then we go back to the guys and man, I love an angry, scary lady
Ooh.
because usually she's got like her motives are usually
Oh, they're
so
good.
like
Yeah.
I believe it. Yeah, you kill them. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Well, let's now, Kelly, this is so fun. I feel like we can chat forever about horror.
Oh, we could. Yeah.
Now let's zero in, everybody, on Troll. What a movie. We're rewinding 40 years in just a couple days as of this recording. January 17th, 1986. So Kelly, I'm so glad you're here because I saw your post, your trivia theme this week. This episode will be out after you do trivia. So feel free to spill any questions if you want to give them away. But yeah, when I saw that you were doing that, I was like, oh my God, that is so perfect that she's doing that theme and it's Troll's 40th. And real quick, everybody, I'm going to just list all the movies that you're doing. So the theme is creepy little guys. Love it,
Yep.
Kelly. You're doing everything from Troll 2, Brain Damage, Cat's Eye, Hobgoblins. I haven't seen Hobgoblins. I need to see some of these. See? Leprechaun. Oh, the best.
Yes. Warwick Davis.
Critters, Gremlins, which I don't know if you can see. I got my Gremlins shirt on today.
Yay! I'm wearing a Troll shirt.
Oh my God, love it. Look at us. See? Oh, I love a good theme. So who else? What else you got? You got Gremlins, Munchies, which
Munchies.
Munchies.
Oh.
I thought I knew, and then I saw you like share the. I'm like, oh, okay. I don't think I know Munchies, but The Gate. Oh my God, The Gate. I love so much. I was at Camp John Waters this summer. Well, it was in September, and Steven Dorff was there. He was like the main reason why some friends and I wanted to go because my good friend would be obsessed when 25 years ago. So and he was talking about The Gate.
That is such a feel good one. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. And also just cute Steven Dorff. I mean, it's very like after E.T. you can feel like, okay, friends and then scary stuff happening. And then, okay, you got to tell me, what is Frankie Frico? I have never heard of that in my life.
So I actually haven't watched that one yet because I like to do the same thing every month, which is stress myself out for the last week before trivia. And I just watch everything in a week's time. Frankie Frico is one that I haven't seen yet, but I know that it is by the director that did Psycho Goreman.
Okay.
So it's a Canadian film.
Interesting. Okay. I've never heard of it. Wow.
It came out a couple years ago, I think. Maybe a few years ago now. Wow. But yeah, same director as Psycho Goreman. The Void, I believe he did The Void as well.
Oh, okay. That rings a bell. All right. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Well, I love it. And then I know in your post, and I know from experience from the summer one, sometimes you throw in a couple other movies that you haven't mentioned in the list, right?
Oh, yeah.
Little surprises, which, ooh, God, those were stressful. I just remember my friend Dan and I, as you were like calling out the everyone's points, for some reason it wasn't getting through our heads that like, oh, okay, we lost and then we won. But it was so funny because we both were like, oh shit, oh wow, we weren't as good as we thought. I don't know what we both were thinking. I think because it was so fun, but it was so like come on, we know this. We know, you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
tense yourself up.
It's high pressure.
But then we were just like, oh, wow. Okay, well, hey, we're in good company. And then we did win. And we're like, oh, okay. We're doing the math all wrong. I don't know what we were thinking. Anyway, it was so fun. I can't wait to do it again.
Once upon a time when the world was filled with wonder, little creatures shared the earth with humans. And magic was a way of life. Once upon a time is now.
Now, Troll. So, Kelly, I'm just going to set the scene real quick. I'm going to tell you about other pop culture in January 86. Feel free to shout out any thoughts. The number one song at the time was That's What Friends Are For, from Dionne Warwick, Elton John, Gladys Knight, and Stevie Wonder. It was like an AIDS charity, big hit song.
Oh, yes.
That was the number one song. Yep, you know it. Yes, Dionne and Friends. So that was the number one song. So that feels old. That's like, okay, yeah, we are in 1986, right? The other popular movies at this time, because sadly, everybody, Troll was not a number one movie. It was not a number 5 movie. It opened apparently at number 9.
Aww.
So, it was not so successful. I think it was in theaters, according to Box Office Mojo, maybe like 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. So kind of came and went. Yep. But hey, it's a winner in our eyes.
Oh,
Other
totally.
popular movies were Iron Eagle, which I didn't really know. Louis Gossett Jr., right? That was number 1. So isn't that so funny? Like when you think of awards and box office, like some of these number 1 award-winning movies, years later, you're like, huh? Like it does not stay in the conversation, right?
Well, we know horror always gets snubbed.
Always.
And I'm sure what's Iron Eagle, like some action.
It's some action movie. There's like a jet. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
They're standing in front of like a plane. I don't know. Something that flies, right? Yeah. So Iron Eagle, The Color Purple, Oprah.
Okay.
Whoopi.
All right.
Out of Africa, Meryl and Robert Redford. Jewel of the Nile, Kathleen Turner, Michael Douglas. So, you got your big stars. Rocky 4, going back to Rambo. We have Sly Stallone and Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Ooh,
I love that one. I love that one.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That one
Mark
actually is
Patton.
very scary. Yes, Mark Patton. I interviewed him for my old podcast years ago when I'm sure you saw that great doc, Scream Queen. Right?
Yes. Incredible.
Yes. Really interesting. But I love Nightmare 2. I know, of course, it's odd, but I think Freddy is really scary in that. That was probably one of the, I love all Freddy, every single one, but I feel like those early films, he was actually scary. And then New Nightmare, he was very scary.
He was.
Right?
And you know what? I love, one of my favorite things in a horror film is a group kill. I love a group kill. I love when a baddie just shows up and just annihilates everyone in the room. And that pool scene, so good.
Absolutely, Kelly. Yes, that pool scene with the fire. What does he say? You're all my children now.
Yes, you're all my children now.
And right, like, ooh, yeah, that was, seeing that as a kid, I was like, oh my God, the pool. I have to be scared of the pool and fire and Freddy now. Like, ooh,
yes,
yeah, so good. So those movies were all in the box office, all playing in the theaters, all a little bit higher than Troll. But in comes Troll, and now we're talking about it 40 years later for a reason. So Kelly, I'm going to throw it over to you for a second.
Okay.
In your own words, it can be very brief. It doesn't need to be perfect in any way. For anyone out there who's listening, who likes us and has no idea what Troll is, they're just like, I'm just going to play this episode. What is Troll even about? What would you say?
So I would say that Troll is a fantasy horror film. Okay. What's the director's name? His name is John Carl
Buchler. Is it?
Yeah, I was like,
right?
I'm gonna really just destroy his
Buchler?
last.
Yeah.
I think it's Buchler. I don't want to.
Okay.
I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
But he was a special effects makeup artist for years, and he did a lot of movies like this, like Ghoulies, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you can, half of those creatures in Troll look like little fucking Ghoulies.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, feels like a spiritual sequel or something, right?
Yes. Yeah. So it is it's a horror fantasy film, and it follows the Potter family, Harry Potter Jr., Wendy, and I forget the wife's name, but they
Potter.
Yes, they move into a new apartment. It's supposed to be in San Francisco. It's actually filmed in Italy, but it looks like a San Francisco apartment, and the whole thing was a set. Everything inside the apartment building itself was a set, which is really cool.
Wow,
yes.
It looks so real. I mean,
it
like,
does.
I always wonder with this show, like when you rewatch an old movie, I really do feel like we watch it like in the eyes of when we first saw it, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So yeah, like that will always be a real apartment building in San Francisco. I don't know what, you know what I mean? Like to me,
Yes.
like I will always believe like, yeah, that is not a set, right? Yeah, absolutely.
Totally.
Continue.
So this family moves into this apartment building, and for some reason there is a troll in the basement when the little girl goes down there to play with her ball, and he captures her. We don't really know what happens to her, and then he um, transforms into her and infiltrates the family, and now he goes apartment to turn each person that lives there into some sort of magical being or fae or
Right.
nymph.
Yes.
Empire Pictures presents Troll. The weirdest, the rowdiest, the most mischievous, and the scariest little creature of them all.
The premise of this is apparently this troll was in love with a princess who is someone else that lives in this apartment building. She's an old woman now. And they were in love with each other. And there was a big war between fae, so the fairies, and humans. It's like that in every movie. It's always the angels or the vampires versus the humans.
Yep.
Everyone hates the fucking humans.
There's always a war.
Yes. So there's a big war. The fairies lose the war. Torok he was a wizard. He gets transformed into this hideous troll, and now it's however many years later, and he is seeking his vengeance and wants to turn all the humans into fairies and bring back this fairy tale land.
Absolutely. Wow.
Which I'm for.
Yeah,
I'm 100% for.
Hey, like go green. Like,
yes.
All right, like let's like have some more plant life, right? Yeah, I mean, Julie Louis-Dreyfus looks so cute as her.
Oh, she was a nymph.
Turok was like, okay, you're too cute to kill. I mean, Sonny Bono, which we have to talk about this cast. Wow, but like Sonny Bono gets it bad, but Julia just sort of sprouts up, looks the same, no change whatsoever, other than she's
a little
sort of
hotter.
naked. Yeah, somehow even more cute and like glowing. She's smiling. She's like, ee! And yeah, so she's actually, I would say that was a glow up, right?
Yes, when they're knocking on each door and going like apartment to apartment, and you see them all as like in their fae element. I'm like, I want to be in her apartment.
Yes, right.
I want to be in there.
That would be, and it's funny because it's not even scary. It's just fun. But like Halloween Horror Nights needs to do a troll house. I mean, it's so obvious, right?
Sign me the hell up for that.
That would be amazing if there was, even if they wanted to do kind of, honestly, just borrow your trivia theme, like a Ghoulies troll house, and just like in this room, it's the troll apartment built, right? Oh, yeah. Do you remember, real quick? Because as I was rewatching this, I kept thinking of, I didn't end up loving it, but it was interesting. A Netflix show from a few years ago that I feel like was based on a podcast maybe called Archive 81. Do you remember this? Does that ring a bell? It was maybe definitely in the last 5 years. Must have been maybe 4 or 5.
It sounds familiar.
Archive 81, it was a limited series kind of thing. It really fizzled in the end, but it was like a weird, spooky, supernatural apartment building where stuff was going on in the basement. It was like a young girl is like a documentarian and wanted to know why people were going missing in this apartment building. She's meeting people. I'm like, wait a minute. Now that I've rewatched this, because it had been a little bit for me, I was like, wait, Archive 81 is like a troll reboot. It's just without trolls, right?
I definitely have not seen it, and I would love to.
Yeah, check it out. I didn't spoil much, so check it out sometime. It starts off strong, and just know if you make it to the end, it's like, big meh, you know? But it's interesting. There's like recordings and interviews with people, and I just know it because I'm an acting coach as well, so I do scenes from it sometimes, just for good, like, kind of thriller mystery stuff. Anyway, but yeah, check it out because I'd love to hear if you see the connections as well as like, because I do love the idea of like, well, first of all, horror doesn't really do much in apartment buildings when you think of it. I mean, there's definitely some classic kind of city apartment horror, but like not as much. Oh, yes. Oh, wait, no, Poltergeist 3? Was that in the building?
Ooh, maybe you're right. Maybe it is.
Yeah, 3. I think it was 3. Yeah. And then Scream 6 was doing some fun apartment stuff. But, you know, like we don't get that a lot. So I do appreciate when creators can like do something in a building, you know, in a city where like you can just shout for help, but can you? Right?
Yeah.
Right? You can't. He's gonna get you. But anyway, okay. So now, real quick, Kelly, I'll just talk. We mentioned the director, John Carl. What do you think it is? Buechler? B? We'll just JCB.
JCB. Yeah, we'll call him JCB.
He would be a
Buchler
good.
sounds
I'm
right.
sure. Is he a trivia question?
He could be.
Right, he easily could be with the connection because like we said, he did Ghoulies. Anyway, so real quick, he did makeup work, special effects makeup work on Ghoulies that had just happened. I think right before this movie. I think Ghoulies was what year was that? Let me see real fast. 1985, the year before.
I was gonna say 1985. Right?
Yep. So basically back to back. He had directed a movie I haven't seen, maybe you have, in 84 called The Dungeon Master. Did you
I
check
did
that one
not.
out?
I did not. I have not seen that one. I saw that he directed it.
Yeah, so he had directed that. So he wasn't a total newbie as a director. Years and many movies doing makeup. So he first conceived this initial concept for Troll while working with Roger Corman on a movie called Android. Haven't seen that one, but all this good fun 80s B horror, or maybe lower than B, but B for us. Maybe not so high for other people, right? And he enlisted the writer Ed Naha, I believe is his name, to write the script with him. And I still haven't seen this, but I know the poster so well. You probably have seen 1986. I think it was the same year. Dolls.
Oh yes,
I haven't seen that one.
That one's great.
I assume. Do dolls come alive?
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
Very puppet mastery. Those are all in their own thing. Which I'm gonna do a toys and dolls trivia.
Oh, that's fun. Okay, that'll give me something to study. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Good to know. The Puppet Masters, man, they always. I want to just quickly. There's so many of those movies. How many do you think there are? Like,
oh God,
6, 7, 10, right?
No, I don't know. Maybe like 9 or 10.
Oh, like a lot, because I feel like some are theatrical, and then they just went to like cable or DVD, and then they still make them. I feel like, and they just pop up on like, I don't know, maybe they're Tubi exclusives.
They're like the full moon production. So then you got like the Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys and all those crazy Evil Bong versus Ginger Dead Man shit.
I think what always weirded me out watching Puppet Masters as a kid, real quick, I feel like the movies were kind of like Hellraiser, which I can't really do Hellraiser. It's a little too gross for me.
Oh,
I love Pinhead, and like I remember some of the sequels. I like that Hulu one, but I don't know, skin ripping, and I'm just like, okay, we're going a little too far for me, but
a little too gory,
little too much. But there's something with like Hellraiser and the Puppet Master movies where like they're also kind of sexual. So it's like, right, so it's bloody and gory, but also sexual. Where I'm like, I don't know, I don't want to be prudish, but I'm just like, we should keep those, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like a little more separate, please, right? Anyway, that's my little tangent on that. But so anyway, Ed Naha co-wrote this with Buchler, and Naha also wrote Dolls, so just wanted to shout that out. And then I'll really quick just talk about our actors. Like we said, there are a few familiar faces, but I'll just talk about our Harry Potters, our Potter family. We have Noah Hathaway, which, not to be a creep in any way, but again, I rewatch a movie kind of like going back to when I first saw it. Man, as a queer person, Noah Hathaway, what a babe.
Because you were like Atreyu and Never-Ending Story.
Absolutely, just a couple years prior. So I loved Never-Ending Story. I'm sure you do too,
absolutely.
Right? Are you kidding? And then seeing him in this, and he's only like 13. He's a kid, but he's also just so much older than Atreyu. That as a kid watching this, I'm just like, oh, Atreyu.
Who's that?
God, wow. We are not in what was Fantasia anymore, right? So we have Noah. We have dad is Michael Moriarty. Mm-hmm. Mom is Shelley Hack. And, I got to give props to Jenny Beck, who plays Wendy. I love Wendy. I love her. I've always thought she is she's just such a fun little actress. She's becoming a total terror. She's having fun. What do you think of her?
I love her. I thought when the troll took her over and she was being a little feral thing and she was screaming about Godzilla and like eating the hamburgers.
The rat burger. Oh my God.
The rat burger, yeah.
Give me more, right? She switches from like, fun. Ew, what is this, to obsessed, right? And she bites her dad's hand. And I mean, and just the looks. I love when she gives like, Julie Louis-Dreyfus, the neighbor Jeanette, like she gives her a look. She's giving people this like mischievous little look, and like, oh, they don't have much time left. Sonny Bono, she gives him that smile, and then Jesus, right? I have to shout her out. And it's so funny because going back to Poltergeist, that was 82, so that was a few years before this. I mean, when Jenny Beck was styled and looks just like the girl from Poltergeist. I mean, Carol Ann, I mean, like if I made Poltergeist, I'd be like, okay guys, thanks for the absolute like copycat. Like this girl is Carol Ann, right? So
Yep.
love that 80s DNA.
I think that what he's doing is going from apartment to apartment and transforming sections of this building into different fairy worlds.
The hell are you?
Yo, so Kelly, when do you think you first saw this? Do you have a memory of like checking this out on video, on cable?
yeah.
What do you think it was?
It was definitely a movie that we rented when I was a kid. I was probably like 6 years old when I first saw
you were
this
young.
movie.
Okay.
Yeah, very young. And I had watched it a lot as a kid. Which was really when I started getting into puppets and small little creatures like that. And I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with the puppets in this film. I love them. Galwin, I'm obsessed with Galwin.
How do I not have like a Galwin, I don't know, little like tchotchke, little toy
I
or
know,
something,
I
right?
need one too.
Don't you want one on your desk or like, I don't know, like in the bathroom or something,
I
right?
do. I want it to be singing.
I want a exactly, like you just press a button or something and maybe it wiggles and sings, right? I like Spencer's. There's a Spencer's near me that's closing, so I need to go and get all the sales. But I'm like, Spencer's, can you quick make like some Galwin for me, right? I kind of want a Galwin to like have a big moment in the end, but it kind of doesn't, right? I feel like we put the like lampshade on it and that's kind of all Galwin does, right? Would have been great. Even if he like, I don't know, like put something in his mouth and throws it over to Noah Hathaway or something cool, you know? Like
I have a fun little trivia.
Oh,
so apparently, the picture that they show of Galwin as a human in his human form, apparently, now I haven't looked. Next time I watch this movie, I'm going to be looking out for it. But apparently, that same picture is in the basement of the antique store in Garbage Pail Kids from 1987, which is another creepy little guy movie, even though it's not a horror movie.
Right.
That is. So
Isn't
there
that
will be a question.
Funny? Oh,
on
that's
that.
a good. Yeah. Oh, wow. That's a deep cut. That's probably going to be, I would assume, like either a bonus or maybe, don't you do like wasn't the last like section of trivia kind of the most questions and it was like fast? It was sort of a bit of a lightning round. Am I right?
No, we have the bonus ones though. So after each, there's 10 questions per round and then there's a bonus and that one's worth 10. But that would be something like that I would ask.
Oh boy. Cause I probably wouldn't know. I'd be like, you know, I don't know. Wow. That's so cool. It's so funny that like the 80s, like you said, even though that's not a horror movie, like so many of these 80s movies, it's like, is this for kids? Is this too intense for kids? Is this scary? Is it like everything was sort of everything? You know what I mean? Right? They just merged all sorts of things and just threw them in a pot and we loved it.
It was like, this is for adults, but we're just going to let kids watch it.
Yeah, it's okay for them to check it out. It's just a movie, right? Because I mean, this movie overall isn't really that gross. I know the sequel, which I wanted to watch before I chatted with you, but I couldn't get to it, but I remember it well. I know the sequel's, I don't know, I think it's a little bit grosser in my opinion. This movie isn't that gross, but what happens to Sonny's pretty nasty.
Yeah.
What else would you say? Is there anything else that's like nasty? I feel like that's really it.
I mean, some of the scenes where you see them transforming is a little goopy and gross, but really there isn't a lot of gore to it. There isn't. Yeah, it's more. I guess it's heavier on the fantasy element than it is the horror.
Definitely. At first, it's horror, right? I feel like we're like, okay, we were like a monster movie. And then halfway through, once we really meet Eunice, you know, which I know, of course, now I'm blanking on that actress's name, but I know she was a big deal. She did tons of like classic TV. Let me find her name real quick. Not Anne Lockhart, June Lockhart. Oh, Anne Lockhart. I just realized, oh my God, I'm so silly. Are they really mother and daughter in real life? I mean, they have the same last name. That would be so interesting. Okay, I think so. June Lockhart and her daughter Anne Lockhart plays the young Eunice, which can I just tell you, Kelly, still to this day, every time Eunice lets her hair down and turns around and she's young, I am always floored. I'm just like, even yesterday when I was rewatching, I was like, oh, okay, she's ready to slay, but not for long. Sadly.
I know.
But that hair is herring. She's going down those steps. She's gonna, right? I just have to shout that out. But what were we saying before I went on that tangent? Eunice. Oh yeah. Once we really meet Eunice and she's really telling Harry Potter Jr., you know, the history, like you got into all the great like lore of this fantasy world. Then it's like, oh, okay, we are completely. Like the second half is now fantasy film, 80s
We're in a fairy tale. Yeah, exactly.
Right? Fairy tale. We are opening doors. Now we are in the woods, like in some park somewhere, right? Like we're now, actually it was giving me, which also turned 40 in 86. In a couple months from now, it'll be 40. Labyrinth. Like it really, right? Which
Yes.
I know that's in theaters right now. And I was really debating. I was like, do I spend the money to go see it on the big screen?
You
I kinda
do.
want to. Did you go? Have you
I saw
You've
it.
seen it on the big
It came
screen.
out a couple of years ago on
Yeah.
the big screen, and I saw it then.
I saw it years ago at, if you ever heard of, it's not there anymore, but the Sunshine Cinema, a theater in New York City, like on Houston, downtown. They always played old, amazing, like midnight movies. That's where I first saw Black Christmas. Like, oh, just so cool.
We
Anyway.
love our little theaters here. We're very
Yes.
fortunate that we have Cinema Salem right
Yes.
downtown.
The transformation is going to begin on the Witch's Sabbath, the very same day that the Potters move into their new apartment.
I've never seen so many guys take so long to move so little furniture.
It's all your records, honey. You gotta get rid of some of these records.
Cinema Salem a lot, right?
Yeah, we host movies there. I host
Yeah.
one for trivia, usually every month, and then Salem Scare Society puts on movies there. Our friends at Spooky Picture Show, they have an incredible repertoire for the rest of the year coming up.
Oh,
So
love
there's
it.
going to be so many good horror movies playing at Cinema Salem.
Oh, love it. It's a great theater. I've seen the Salem Horror Fest there, but I think that moved to another theater now. I don't think that's
Yeah,
That's
so
our
that's a different venue now. Yeah.
okay. That's a different, yeah. But yeah, great space. I love it. And man, because I don't know how long I'll be living where I am, so I'm kind of like, do I finally move to Salem? But is rent kind of high? Rent seems to be a
it's
little
stupid. Yeah.
right for like small places. It seems all right, but it's so cool. I don't know. I might be your neighbor. We might be in the same apartment building. You can be Eunice. I'll be you're the young
Yes.
Eunice, Obvi. I'll be Julie Louis-Dreyfus or whatever.
You
can
could be
switch.
Gowan.
I'll be Gowan. Let me sit on your table, please. Right?
We'll put a little lampshade on you.
Right? Exactly. When I don't need to see some of the French horror that you're watching. So just right. That's so funny. But no, I want to ask you, Kelly. We love Troll. I get a kick out of it. I could watch this way more than, because again, like I said, it's been a while. It had been
It's
probably like a good few years for me. Is it a bad movie?
I mean, I don't think it's a bad movie, but I have terrible taste. So I don't know if I should be trusted. But the reviews will say that it's a bad movie, or they'll say that it's so bad that it's good. It's on a lot of those types of lists,
This movie is, I would say, because I think that term is thrown around a lot. So bad it's good.
Yeah.
When it's like, but this, okay, that phrase feels right for Troll, right?
But I just for me, okay, it's a stacked cast.
Yeah.
There's so many incredible actors in this. The makeup and the special effects, the puppets are incredible. The storyline is just so fun and fantastical. It's lush. I don't know. I think it's a good movie. I think it's a good movie.
And it's a good kill count, even though we don't always see people get killed. I feel like actually most times we're not seeing them get killed. Like, like going back to Julia, like she just walks out of the room and we see Wendy looking, and then all of a sudden, like, that's a good reveal. Like, so actually I feel like less is more with this movie, they wanted to kind of, which I had read, and maybe you saw this too, that I think the producers ideally, the whole point of doing it was they wanted to make it more PG-13 to have a wider audience, and kind of take a step away from the Freddys and the Jasons and all that,
Totally.
since they were so popular. But yeah, I was really wondering, because as I was rewatching, I'm like, I think there's a really good story here. If this were ever like remade, which I know there's now new Troll movies, but I don't think they have anything to do with this.
They don't.
Right?
And I mean, technically, Troll 2 doesn't have anything to do with this.
It doesn't. It really
has nothing to do with this. That was a cash grab on calling it Troll 2 so they could get a wider audience. It was so originally supposed to be called, I think the working title was Goblin.
Oh, okay.
Goblins?
Which makes a lot more sense, because when I was
they are goblins.
it, yes, they're first of all, they look different, because you can tell there's a difference between a goblin and a troll, right?
Absolutely.
We see it, and I was in the background. I had the beginning of Troll 2 on, and I feel like I heard the word goblin more than
You
troll,
did.
right?
Nilbog is goblin spelled backwards. That's the main line of that goddamn movie.
That's so
Yeah,
funny.
that is a goblin movie. It is Troll 2 only so they could get the audience, but it has nothing to do with Troll. It has nothing to do with the original movie. We were
That's
supposed we were supposed to get apparently an animated sequel in 2015.
Oh,
That even Patricia Arquette, I read that she signed up to do some voice acting on it,
wow.
but it fell to the wayside because the director sadly passed away from cancer in
Oh,
2019.
yeah.
And so I think that this was kind of just like fell to the wayside. Yeah.
It just fell apart. Interesting. And that's so funny that, yeah, for a while there, and I don't know if it's still on, but going back to Gremlins, there was that Mogwai animated series for a while. I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's funny how some of these 80s, especially kind of fantasy horror, can kind of transition over to animation, or at least try to. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. With Patricia Arquette. Wow. I would see that. I would absolutely see that. So maybe, but yeah, I wanted to ask, what you thought ultimately, because I just feel like there's a good story here. It gets bogged down a bit.
Yep.
There's some dialogue that's odd for sure, and
Yes.
everyone's kind of in a different movie, like Noah Hathaway's in a serious, like horror. Sonny Bono's in a slapstick, like Pee Wee Herman comedy, right?
Him as a swinger.
Oh my God! Yes,
That line. When he's with that woman, and he's like, what does he say? He's like, "Can I get you something, some breakfast or something?" Or I forget what he says. And she's like, "Oh yeah," or "Can I offer you some breakfast?" And she's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, there's pancake mix. Why don't you start cooking us something?"
Yeah, and then she just slaps him and like leaves, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you think he got involved? Do we know? Like,
I don't know. It's
why is he
so
in this?
weird. Yeah. It's very strange.
And just the way he enters, he's going down the steps and Wendy's running, and like he very obviously doesn't even bump into her, but he's just like, whoa,
Yeah.
and his tank top. It's just like Sonny Bono, huh? Okay. I guess he was sort of our Drew Barrymore, like in script. Like you
Totally.
needed, I guess, a famous face to get it good in the beginning, right?
Yes.
But we have Sonny, we have Julia. I'm trying to think, were there any other famous faces like June Lockhart?
Apparently Julia is not proud of this movie at all, or her performance in it.
Oh, see, I mean, it's very hard for her to do anything bad. I think she's so cute, so great. When
I do too.
When she tells Wendy, like, "Hey, okay, I have an audition and I have things to do," so I'm like, I believe it. Like,
Yeah.
she also doesn't have a ton to do, so it's like you do the best you can. Her boyfriend wants to just go play volleyball with her or something random. That's funny. I don't think she should be so hard on it because, like I said, we're talking about it for a reason. All these decades later.
Yeah, it's a cult classic now.
It's a cult classic. And going back to Troll 2, you have to be pretty crazy to make a sequel on a movie that opened at number 9, in total made 5 million worldwide, they say. You never know, because with numbers, I feel like we never know accurately online, right? But I mean, it only made like domestically, I don't know, maybe 4.5 million. So I just think that's so funny. It's like, I guess it made just enough for their threshold to be like, now let's just put the name on another movie.
It's
That's
so
so
funny
weird.
too. Well, I mean, and now that movie is renowned because it is so bad it's good.
Yeah.
It's one of the worst horror movies that exists.
Yeah. Now, Troll 2, would you say that is an official bad movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Officially bad movie. And it's so wild that the director takes that movie very serious and thinks that is a very seriously good film when it is not. It's
I mean,
not
the
like
acting is atrocious.
Oh yeah, it's not like somebody made The Ginger Dead Man with Gary Busey, and it's chock full of jokes and little one-liners, and it's not like that. It's just a really terrible movie.
And has no connection to the first movie. Whole different family. We're on the road a lot. Like, what? We're not even in the apartment building. I feel like, come on, you got to at least do something in the beginning at the apartment building, right?
We're talking about vegetarian goblins. That's what that movie is about. It's about goblins that are vegetarians and turn humans into vegetable matter so they can consume them. It's very fucking weird.
It's so weird. And it's so obvious that the goblins, I mean, they're just masks. They're just like,
Oh yeah.
like Halloween store masks, like baggy clothes, like kids running around. Like, speaking of the costumes, I do have to say, I mean, like Torok looks so cool. Like that is such a great troll costume. I don't know. Well, I was going to say, I don't know, but I do know. I read, and I didn't know until today when I was doing research, that the actor who we've seen in other things, Phil Fondacaro, I believe is his name.
Yes, I love him. He was in Bordello of Blood.
Yes.
Do you remember him in that one?
He's done lots of things.
Great.
Is he still with us? Okay, yeah, he is still alive, because I just feel like he was in so much stuff, and then I guess as you get old, you don't do as much. But what a great actor. I didn't realize until today, maybe you already knew this, Kelly, he not only plays the character Malcolm,
yes,
but he's also Torok, and I guess in the costume.
Know that. Yep.
Didn't know that. So I'm like, oh my God,
fun?
double duty. That's perfect.
Yeah.
That is so perfect. I love that guy. And I remember him very well from seeing this as a kid. I don't know why. I think because I had recognized him from other things, and I just love that actor,
Yeah, he's so good. And I love when Torok is calling Malcolm his elf brother. And then we see him in the room when he becomes this like baby troll.
Yes.
And he's like picking him up. He's like, my elf brother.
Yeah. He's like, welcome, elf brother. And it's so funny because, again, we didn't really see the transition. We don't see the death or whatever, right? So they're kind of leaving that stuff out. So, but it's so funny that, I mean, great effects that like.
He's so wet when he picks him up.
So gooey. Oh my God. He is birthed from the greenery, right? But we know it's him because they did a good job like making that thing like it resemble him. So I mean the effects are good,
They're great.
Like, maybe they're not the thing, but I still think they're pretty. I mean, I knew who it was immediately. I'm like, oh, they got him. They got Malcolm. Right? For some reason I thought Malcolm, I don't know what I was thinking. I thought he's not in the sequel, right? No, I don't think that actor came back. No,
nobody is, because that isn't technically a sequel,
right? Yeah, it's a separate movie. So I feel like I'm remembering him from something else. And as I was rewatching, I'm like, wait, he dies? Like I thought he just had more to do, but maybe I'm thinking of, he was in Phantasm. Okay, maybe I'm thinking Ghoulies 2. Oh my God, he's in all these movies.
It's
in amazing.
So many, yeah.
Oh, what a horror star. Oh, he was in The Dungeon Master. Yeah, I had read that he was close with the director. Oh, Fairy Tale Theater. Do you remember that?
Oh, with Shelley Duvall? Yes, he was in the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Yes, he was. I remember that very well. Exactly. See,
I had that whole box collection set on VHS.
Yes. Do you still have it?
No.
Oh.
My mother did this thing growing up where she would purge of everything when something newer came out. So she got rid of all of her vinyl, all of our VHSs.
Vinyl's so cool again.
I know.
Oh, the VHS.
So are VHSs.
I hear that. I know. I had for a long time the 3 special edition Scream VHS covers that were blue. Do you remember them? Like they were Drew, Nev, and Courtney, like the blue faces.
You don't have them?
I sold them on eBay years ago for like $20. I'm like, okay, I would have sold them for much more now.
Yes.
Or just held on to them. But yeah, I know. We get rid of stuff and then we don't realize, oh, actually it's going to be so cool to have. But I do at least have the DVD box set of Fairy Tale Theater. Love that. Every now and then I'm like, I gotta pop that in and just.
The Pinocchio one is my favorite with Paul Rubin.
Yes, that's right.
So good.
So many good ones. Robin Williams as the Frog Prince. Snow White was a big one. That was Vincent Price, I think, was the mirror. And I mean, Vincent,
right.
Wasn't he? I think.
Or
right?
was it the shoe? No.
Or maybe I'm wrong. But I know Redgrave. Was it Vanessa Redgrave? Was the evil queen in Snow White? I think she was.
Such a good one.
But anyway, like us, they as kids, I mean, they weren't scary, but they were getting dark and creepy.
Spooky.
The 80s weren't afraid to like villains yelled. They weren't always funny. Like they were like actually like manic, which was like okay, whoa, Anyway, so yeah, I'm just looking at his filmography, seeing all that cool stuff. But yeah, for some reason, I thought Malcolm was in it more. I thought maybe he was going to help. Harry and Wendy make it out, but no, was I shocked to see?
I thought there was going to be some little twist where he was involved with Torok some way,
Yeah, something, right?
With him calling him his elf brother.
Because it does sort of just end. I mean, we see that epic. I mean, I totally forgot the other world, once they are now in like Torok's world. Forgot that big, cool, awesome, like
monster.
bat monster
Yeah.
beast. Oh my gosh, it's so cool.
That's
and
fun.
I forgot that Torok actually kills the beast. So I guess it's because he wants Wendy to be his new princess or something. That's why he kind of saved her.
Creepy.
Yeah,
Yes.
right. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, she's like 8, maybe 7, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
You're like, what, 400?
What the Potters don't know is that they've just moved into the building that is the enchanted gateway to the ancient world of Troll.
Shut that damn door.
Hey Rewinders, I'm pausing this awesome chat with Kelly to remind you that if you're loving this show, please leave a rating, a review, whatever you want on your favorite podcast app like Spotify or Apple Podcasts, and a thumbs up on YouTube, pretty please. And also send this episode link to the troll in your life. Also, don't forget if you're a Spotify user that you can leave comments on an episode, which is fun. But be nice though. Don't troll me. I also want to tell you about another show on the You Run Podcast Network, and that is Podcast in the Woods. Ooh, what a great title, huh? It focuses on horror movie favorites as well as some of the more obscure titles in the genre, like their newest episode on the 1999 movie Ravenous. The main thing is fun, which I, of course, fully support. One thing I don't support is ice. We'll be back in a minute.
Wendy! Didn't you hear Mommy calling you, honey? No, Mommy.
And also, we don't really spend much time with Torok like weighing his options then. It's just sort of like, wait, not my princess to be. And then he just sort of kills the monster. I'm like, whoa, okay, wow, we're changing decisions very quickly here. And then the world kind of disappears and out they go, you know?
Yeah.
So it does sort of abruptly end. It would be nice to kind of, I don't know who, but like for maybe we go back to Galwin. Maybe Galwin appears and says, and has a voice and tells us a little bit more about life. I don't know. Right?
I want a complete feature film on Galwin alone.
You know, maybe Galwin is the animated series or animated sequel.
Oh,
right?
he won everyone's hearts. That he is the star of that movie.
He is like the E.T. of the movie. Like
Yes.
he's that cuddly, creepy thing that, like, yeah, man.
He is the Gizmo of Gremlins.
You're right.
You know?
He is. That's even better. He's Gizmo. You're so right. They said, okay, we need a Gizmo. Gremlins is huge. Okay, let's have a singing mushroom just randomly, you know?
And the amount of shit that shitty J.K. Rowling took from this movie. Come on.
Isn't that so interesting? Like, it's actually really weird. The connections, obviously the name, like, what? I hate her so much. I hate
She's
her.
the worst.
Like, thanks for giving us that Harry Potter, of course, you know, the books and the movies, of course, but like, hate.
Yes.
The
Same.
worst.
It's Daddy. It's Daddy.
Harry Jr. is about to be drawn into a world beyond his wildest fantasy, and he'll need a little magic of his own to get out of it alive.
Galwin singing. Galwin. Oh, the song that they sing is incredible. That's Charles Band, who was the producer of Charles Band of Empire, and then he went on to do Full Moon Productions. His brother did the score and made that song, and apparently that song, the what they're speaking is made up. He made it up. It's a mix between Latin and Old English, and you can actually look and find all of the lyrics for the song. It's about the battle, and but it is. I love playing that song. Cool. It is so cute, and I love Galwin's little cutie, like
yes. Oh.
Obsessed.
Okay, now we need to. I can't do it now. I need to prepare. But now I feel like you and I need to like send a voice note to each other singing the songs, and then I'll edit them together and we'll harmonize or something, right? Oh, yeah, it's such a fun moment for sure.
It really is. And like for me, this one is I love this one so much because aside from loving horror, I do love fantasy a lot. Like Willow is one of my all-time favorite movies. And anything with little creatures like Labyrinth,
God,
just
the best. Yes.
Dark Crystal, like all of those.
There's such artistry to those movies too, especially
The puppetry.
Especially at that time, but really any time. I mean, even CGI. I mean, you have to build these worlds, and it's so fun. Sometimes they can get a little too deep into it for me, where I'm like, okay, I need it to be like Labyrinth, like easy problem. We'll get there, right? But sometimes they get a little too, like I'm not a fantasy reader. Are you a fantasy reader?
Not really.
Okay.
More of like in film.
More film and TV and stuff. Yeah, because I feel like the readers, wow, you want to go into those details, baby. And I love that. I would totally respect it. I couldn't. I'm just like, okay, I need it kind of like a high level, simple problem to fix, right? We're gonna meet some goblins, right? But yeah, absolutely. The artistry, and with this movie, I know it's, like we said, it's maybe not a great movie, but just watching, I mean, even just the vines and the weird pods, I do love how they bring up pod people, because they kind of, they are kind of birthed out of these like big sort of, I don't even know how you would describe it, a green sack. Yeah. Right?
Like a gremlin would be or something,
Exactly. Gremlin, or like the face huggers, the alien eggs, right? Yeah. Same sort of thing, opening up with steam and all that stuff, right? So good.
Harry Potter Jr. expected to have a little trouble getting adjusted in his new neighborhood. But he never expected anything like this.
I have some lines, some odd dialogue. I'll read out. Okay. So, it kind of just going in order. I believe it's Harry Potter Jr. says to Wendy, "Have you been playing with dead cats?" Okay.
So natural.
Character trait that is pretty dark and twisted. Okay. Let's see. I have, "Is she rabid?" Sonny Bono says that as he falls down the stairs. For some reason, this isn't like a special one. I don't know why I wrote. Eunice says to Gawain, "You're sounding like a ninny," but I don't know.
Oh, right, the ninny, yeah,
the ninny, right? Another Harry Potter, the other one, kind of little connection. Someone says about Wendy. I think it's like the sort of gym guy. There's like a guy that kind of looks like a Jeff Bridges type in the movie. I forget his name, but he's one of the neighbors. He says, "Weird kid, probably reads a lot." I'm like, okay. Eunice says to Harry Potter Jr., "I recognized your knock. It's prepubescent." I'm like, okay. There's a little bit of like a, she smiles at him a little too much, I think.
I don't like that.
Right? It's a little weird. Oh, in the moments leading up to Julia Louis, in the moments leading up to her death, the way she looks at Jeanette and says, they're looking at like an old picture of her, and she goes, "You were pretty. Beauty fades with age." I was like,
"Cunty."
And Jeanette goes, right? Cunty. And Jeanette goes, "Thanks, I guess." I'm like, but you're gonna kill her and knock her down, right?
Yeah. She read her before.
Right? I love when Eunice says to, we're really getting towards the end here, like things are happening, like Harry Potter Jr. is like on board with this crazy story. Eunice says, "Your sister isn't an alien. She's much worse." I was like, "Oh, that's a tagline right there." Right? Put that on the
that would have been good.
One of the oddest lines, I had to rewind it, I had to Google it. Eunice says to the dad, "You know what day it was when they dropped the bomb on Hiroshima?" Do you remember that part?
I don't remember that.
It is so random, Kelly. It has nothing to do with anything. I think she's just like getting wound up that like, the neighbors are dropping one by one and dad's oblivious.
Yeah.
And he says something like, "Oh, well, it's the weekend. People are out." And then she just drops this bomb.
Oh,
you know what day it was when they dropped the bomb on Hiroshima? And he just kind of looks at her and it's like, what? What's going on? Right?
They were just like, we got to fill these lines in.
We got to, like, it almost made me think like, okay, who came up with that on the spot the day of? Was, right? And whatever, right?
That's the 80s. That's the 80s for you.
It is 86, baby. I wrote, "Welcome, Brother Elf." Another Eunice line that just was like sassy and cunty. "I don't hang out with liars." She says that to
me either, girl.
Noah Hathaway. Yeah, me neither. I'm like, yeah, I get it, but also, whoa, okay, relax, right? I love this line. Another tagline. oh my God, actually, oh my gosh, maybe you should mention this at trivia. Eunice says about Torok, he's running out of time and apartments. I was just like, yes, give me that on a t-shirt now, please.
I love that.
Oh God. And then of course, when Eunice, young Eunice, like we said, going back to her looking fierce, she's looking up at the beast. We don't see him yet, but he, Torok gets her, and I think in her apartment. I think just when thinks she's like safe with her swords, Torok there and does the green ring, right? Mm-hmm. He turns her into like a tree stump, and I just wrote,
oh yeah, the stump.
Which, I forgot all about that. And like, oh, poor Harry is like, no, Eunice, like he's, his mentor is gone. I'm like, oh my God, this has stakes. She just goes, all right, kiddo, it's up to you now. As it's like really, the puppet is like, it's up to you now, So I was
that's very giving tree. What if he just like is like, you know what? And then just takes a rest on her instead.
Right? Yeah, what if he just sits and thinks for a second, comes up with a plan, right? But yeah, very giving tree, very grandmother Willow and Pocahontas. Yes. I was like, okay, I see what you're doing. So yeah, those are some lines I just had to shout out. I also do love, and I think this is very 80s, so nothing new here, but I just want to shout out really fun POV shots from Torok or from, from the big beast, right? Where we see some hands, we hear breathing. It fits this movie so well. I feel like, again, it's not new in any way, but back when I first saw this, I feel like it was kind of maybe new for me, or it was a newer, because not every horror movie does that, So between this and maybe Halloween and maybe like Friday the 13th, as a kid, I just really love the fun POV stuff. Even in the fairy tale world, we see some stuff and up high from the beast. It works for me, right?
Oh, you're gonna love Giallos then, baby, because that is all
it's all POV, right? Yeah,
yes.
You're so right.
It Absolutely. Is sexy, black gloves, thick red paint, everything from POV. Yeah, great.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got to do a deep dive for sure, because I've only touched the Giallo surface.
Troll, where myths and legends come to life.
So if you follow my trivia account, it's Trivia Time Bitch, all one word. Like Trivia Time Bitch is the name on Instagram. Then that's where I post the dates, upcoming themes. I usually post a list along with it. The one at the castle, I don't post lists for, just the one at the Kodo.
Yeah, love it. Oh, that's so fun. Are you excited to do it?
I'm always excited. People have a good time. It's
got
nice
good prizes together. For the winner?
Oh, great prizes always.
Oh, because you had great prizes at that one in the summer. Oh my gosh, I thought like maybe one thing, but you gave us goodie bags. Oh my gosh. I mean, so it was amazing. So I'm so glad I did it. I won't be able to go to this one, but that vampire one in February.
Yes. And actually, so in February at Kodo, I want to do a fairy tale fantasy horror, which Troll would have been perfect on that list too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And there's many more. You'll have you could totally do that. Do you ever redo movies? Like, do you wait like a year or something? And
totally.
Right?
They end up, because there's so many lists that they, if I do John Carpenter and then I do like dystopian or post-apocalyptic, there's a lot of crossover.
Oh, a lot of crossover. Absolutely. Yeah. Do you have your question? It sounds like you are still writing your questions because you need to rewatch
I am.
Or watch some of these movies. Wow. So you are really, I love it. It's not like you did it like, over the holidays and now you're prepared. Like you are gonna, do you think like the night before trivia, you're still going to be like looking over your questions?
Yes, this is what happens every month. I have ADHD and everything comes together at the very last minute. It's a superpower.
Okay. I love it. Yeah. Probably at like 2 a.m. right?
Yes.
You're like, okay, let's start a movie.
Yeah.
Oh man, Kelly. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mark. Did you have fun? Pleasure. I had so much fun.
You are so cool. So just know I'm a fan. Whew, wow, we survived. We made it to the sequel. Well, maybe a different sequel, right? Thank you, everybody, for listening to or watching this episode. And thank you to the great Kelly Kapow for being such a cool guest and cool person. Make sure you follow her at Miss Scareall and at Trivia Time Bitch to see all the really awesome spooky things she's up to. And hey, if you haven't already, follow me, please, on Instagram at Release Date Rewind to see more from this convo and more troll action. Thanks Straw Hut Media, the You Run Podcast Network, and Kyle Motzinger for this show's theme song. Next time, everybody, we are grabbing the girls and we're sending our love with a 2001 Marley Shelton double feature. Bye.